Welcome to the second video of our prompt engineering series, and today we're going deeper on our prompt engineering, trying to use limits and choose specific words to get a better response from the language model in the very first try. We will be using concepts of the previous videos, such as giving the language model a task and use precise and clear instructions. So if you missed out this video, there is a link in the description of this one, so be sure to watch that video too, because those concepts are also important. And if you are liking this kind of content, please leave a like in this video and consider subscribing to the channel so you'll never miss out on new content like this. And today we're going to try to make the AI to use limits and choose the correct words so we can get the best response on the very first try. And when we give the AI rules or limits, it is in the intent so it doesn't drift away from what we originally want. Limits can be a list of desired outputs or even a limitation of words or number of characters. We should focus on the functionality of the output. Is it a text to teach something, or so it must be clear and well explained, or is it a quick reference and it should be short and direct to the point? We also need to focus on words' meanings. For instance, summarize will give a brief statement of the main points of something, which can give a different result from, for instance, sum up, which will try to express a concise idea of the nature of the character of that something. Both examples might be used to try to get a resumed version of a text, but with very different outputs. And today I have some cloud code, and we are going to ask ChatGPT to produce the documentation for that cloud code. So the first step, as we saw in the last video, is to try to give ChatGPT a task. So your task is to produce documentation for given cloud code functions for a parse app hosted in Back4App. Now we need to specify what type of output we really want. So the output of this documentation should include function parameters, their types, and a resumed text about each one. Also, explain the logics of the cloud code function in a very summarized text of no more than, let's say, 50 characters. Last but not least, we need text about the return of the cloud code function. The cloud code function code will be between, and this is also a concept that we learned from the last video, 3 backticks. And then I'm going to open 3 backticks. I'm going to copy all this code here. As you can see, there is no comments in this, so ChatGPT will have to interpret this code and try to give us a good output of documentation for it. Put it in there, close the 3 backticks. There's one extra. And then you can even specify in which type of output you want. So I could, for instance, tell it to output this in HTML, but since we're watching this on ChatGPT, I'm just going to leave it as is. So when I hit enter, now if I scroll down, as you can see, it gave me a summary of the function. So this cloud code function retrieves a user object from a parse app hosted in Back4App using a custom session token. The function parameters are session token, which is an object containing the custom session token for the user, and also the type and the description of that variable. Also, we have relations to include, which is an array of strings, which is optional. An array of relation names to include in the user query result. So I have to pass in an array with strings telling which the relations of this class I want to retrieve back. Last but not least, it's going to explain the logic, so it broke it down in 7 steps. So extract the custom session token from the session token, create a new query for the parse user class. If relations to include is provided, iterate through the array and include each relation in the user query. Set up a condition to query for a user with the provided custom session token. Perform the user query using await user query first. If no user is found, an error is thrown. If a user is found, it is returned as the result, and the return is a promise that resolves to a parse user object representing the user associated with the provided custom session token. If no user is found, the function throws an error with the message user not found. So as you can see, by trying to guide and use specific words that guides ChatGPT on the way of the output that I expect it to generate, I can get very good results from the very first prompt, which is very good because, as we discussed on the last video, every time you do a prompt, you have some kind of costs. If it's a paid account, you have to pay for that request. If it is a free account, you end up consuming some of their free resources. So getting it correct from the very first call always translate in a more efficient operation. So, if you found this video helpful, please click the like button and consider subscribing to the channel so it can help us grow. I also share this link with a friend and they can learn something too. If you're already subscribed, thank you for that. And if you have any questions, suggestions, or an implementation you'd like to see, please leave in the comment section down below. We always answer all the questions. I hope this content was useful to you and hope to see you back. See you soon. Bye bye.